You might have heard the saying about not meeting your idols, and in many cases it rings true. Some celebrities, despite their charming on-screen personas, have developed a reputation for being downright unpleasant in real life. This list highlights 20 individuals who, while adored by fans, have shown a different side when the cameras are off. If you ever find yourself in their presence, it's wise to think twice before approaching them for an autograph. The reactions can vary widely. Some may choose to ignore you completely, while others might respond with harsh words or a dismissive attitude. The contrast between their public image and private behavior can be shocking, revealing a darker side that many fans are unaware of. These celebrities have managed to maintain their popularity despite their less-than-friendly demeanor, leaving many to wonder how they can be so beloved while treating others poorly. It's a reminder that fame doesn't always equate to kindness, and sometimes the reality behind the glitz and glamour is far from what we expect. Seeking Cameron Diaz's autograph might not be the wisest decision, as it can turn into an experience you might come to regret. These days, who is really clamoring for her autograph anyway? She has earned the dubious distinction of being ranked among the worst celebrities to approach. When fans do muster the courage to ask for her autograph, they often receive more than just a simple "no." Instead, she takes it a step further by lecturing them on why asking for autographs is a foolish endeavor. This adds insult to injury, as the rejection is disappointing enough without receiving a scolding from someone who seems to think she is playing the role of a mother figure. It's one thing to decline a request, but there's a way to do it without coming off as a total jerk. A notable anecdote illustrates her less than charming behavior. During a party hosted by Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz made a memorable impression, but not for the right reasons. Instead of mingling and enjoying the festivities, she spent a significant portion of the time chain smoking. Guests at the party reported that when they dared to ask for a cigarette, she refused to share, deeming it a rude request. While the complexities of bumming a cigarette can be tricky and easily misconstrued as impolite, not engaging with others at a party crosses a different line into rudeness. It seems that at this point, Cameron and her cigarettes can enjoy their exclusive company, as no one else appears eager to be around her. Katherine Heigl soared to success in both TV and film in a remarkably short time, but her career hit a snag due to her reputation. Not one to hold back, Heigl earned a name for herself by openly criticizing her own projects and speaking harshly about her fellow celebrities. While talking behind backs is a Hollywood tradition, most stars tend to be discreet about it, choosing privacy over public outbursts. However, that's just not Katherine Heigl's style. In a bold move, she once turned down an Emmy nomination for Grey's Anatomy, expressing her belief that the show's writing didn't deserve the recognition. This decision likely left her fellow contenders feeling devastated. Heigl also took aim at Knocked Up, deeming it hateful toward women, which stirred up quite a bit of controversy. In 2010, she made headlines again when she demanded a whopping $3 million to appear in Valentine's Day, a rather outrageous request given it was an ensemble film where her on-set time wouldn't be extensive. Her outspoken nature and high demands have certainly contributed to her reputation in the industry. While Kirstie Alley may present herself as amiable in interviews, her actions tell a different story. When one of her close friends left Scientology, she took to Twitter to publicly criticize and bash her former friend, engaging in a public feud with a personal acquaintance. This hardly paints a picture of a great person. Her derogatory comments, including a tweet stating, "Haha, I love talking smack," revealed a penchant for hostility that seemingly outweighs the value she places on friendships. Alley's behavior has not gone unnoticed, and as a result, many other celebrities are reluctant to work with her, a decision that seems quite justified. Some of her most egregious actions include making controversial statements, such as linking psychiatric drugs to mass shooters. Additionally, she posted a tweet with a picture of Stephen Hawking after his passing, accompanied by the words, "You had a good go at it. Thanks for the input." Such behavior tarnishes her reputation, and it is regrettable that she has essentially blacklisted herself despite not being the worst actor in the world. Johnny Depp's reputation is marred by a history of violent incidents, often involving altercations on set. During the filming of City of Lies, Depp faced a lawsuit for allegedly assaulting the location manager not once, but twice. This perplexing scenario raises questions about the manager's actions from Depp's perspective. Adding to the controversy, in 1994, Depp caused $10,000 in damages by completely destroying a hotel room and attempted to shift the blame to an armadillo. The dynamics on set appear equally troublesome. Former managers have disclosed that Depp seems to believe he no longer needs to learn his lines, a fundamental responsibility for any actor. While this attitude might be influenced by his extensive collaboration with Tim Burton, who allows creative freedom, it does not justify neglecting other directors who invest considerable effort in their films. This pattern of behavior paints a troubling picture of an actor who, despite his talent, has faced significant criticism for his actions and attitudes in both personal and professional settings. While Ben Stiller is known for making audiences laugh with his comedic roles, reports suggest that his off-screen demeanor is less than friendly. It seems that many of the funniest people can also have a mean streak. Stiller, who comes from a family of entertainers, has been described as entitled, which is not surprising for someone in his position. One story that stands out involves Stiller having a meltdown over the absence of 2 ice cubes in his Diet Coke. The reasoning behind such an outburst is often illogical, but it highlights a certain level of entitlement. Additionally, he reportedly has his personal assistant guard his parking spot, ensuring that no one else dares to park there. You would think that someone as famous as Stiller could find a more reasonable solution to parking. A Reddit user who worked on the set of Tropic Thunder shared that Stiller was not the most approachable person. This user recounted an incident where Stiller fired an employee simply because he felt there was not enough sugar in his coffee. Such strong opinions about beverages reveal a side of Stiller that contrasts sharply with his on-screen persona. Despite her cute and quirky public persona, Zooey Deschanel has received less flattering descriptions from her castmates throughout her career. Terms like nasty, moody, and unhappy have been thrown around, and while those might technically fall under the quirky umbrella, they are a far cry from being cute. She is known to wield a strong influence on set, taking charge, and sometimes exhibiting less than pleasant behavior when schedules do not align with her preferences. According to one producer, Deschanel earned the title of a horrible boss, and it does not seem like an exaggeration. When disruptions inevitably occurred on set, she would halt filming abruptly, treat others poorly, and occasionally not show up at all. This behavior could be likened to a temper tantrum. These issues on set might explain why she is not as prominent in the limelight these days. The contrast between her public image and the experiences of those who have worked with her paints a different picture of the actress, revealing a side that is not often seen by her fans. Once a fan favorite on the medical drama Grey's Anatomy, Patrick Dempsey's rise to fame came with its own set of challenges. The charm he portrayed as Dr. Derek Shepherd, affectionately known as McDreamy, did not translate well off-screen. Reports emerged that Dempsey developed a diva-like attitude during his time on set, which created tension among the cast and crew. The phenomenon of fame often transforms individuals into difficult personalities, and Dempsey seemed to fall into this pattern. His disrespectful behavior reportedly made the working environment uncomfortable, leading to a significant shift in the dynamics of the show. Shonda Rhimes, the show's creator and executive producer, took notice of the growing drama and made a bold decision to implement a no-a-holes policy. This announcement highlighted the seriousness of the situation and the need for a more harmonious workplace. While fans may have mourned the loss of McDreamy, those who worked alongside Dempsey likely felt a sense of relief when he departed from the series. The contrast between his on-screen persona and off-screen behavior became a widely acknowledged fact, leaving many to reflect on the complexities of celebrity culture and the impact it can have on personal relationships in the entertainment industry. Shia LaBeouf has given us plenty of reasons not to be fans, and one glaring example of his lousy attitude is when he blatantly plagiarized an entire screenplay. Yes, you heard that right. He essentially took an existing script, copied it word for word, and tried to pass it off as his own without expecting anyone to notice. This was the work of comic writer Daniel Clowes, and Shia seemed genuinely surprised that people cared when the plagiarism was exposed. Talk about audacity, but Shia's troubling behavior doesn't end there. A more recent instance involves Kia Twigs, who took him to court, accusing him of physical and emotional abuse. This lawsuit doesn't seem like a stretch given Shia's track record. It goes beyond just being a jerk. It reveals a darker side to his character. Past girlfriends have also come forward, supporting Twig's claims by sharing their own experiences of abuse. These incidents paint a troubling picture of Shia LaBeouf, raising serious concerns about his behavior and treatment of others. In the world of show business, Russell Crowe is known for having a sizable ego, a trait that is not uncommon among actors. His presence in the news often revolves around his sharp tongue and willingness to badmouth other industry figures. One memorable incident involved him calling George Clooney a Frank Sinatra wannabe. Clooney, known for his humor, responded with a witty note that questioned Crowe's motives, suggesting that the only ones who benefit from such celebrity feuds are tabloids like People magazine. This exchange highlighted Crowe's tendency to stir the pot, often at the expense of his peers. Another striking story from Crowe's career occurred during the filming of Gladiator. Reports surfaced that he would make late-night calls to the producer at 300 a.m., unleashing a torrent of screams, threats, and even promises to kill him with his bare hands. The root of this outburst was Crowe's belief that DreamWorks had lowballed one of his assistants. While standing up for his team is commendable, issuing murder threats is hardly an effective negotiation tactic. These incidents paint a picture of an actor whose behavior can be as dramatic as the roles he plays, leaving many to question the true cost of his talent and fame. Known for his recent portrayal of the Joker in Suicide Squad, Jared Leto has had a dedicated fan base for quite some time. However, he makes it onto this list due to reports of rude behavior towards his castmates on set. He reportedly sent each of them peculiar gifts, including bullets, anal beads, and used condoms. While some might argue he was attempting method acting, it comes across as more annoying than anything else. If you're going to be unpleasant, there's no need to go overboard with obnoxious pretentiousness. Adding to the controversy, Leto has alienated fans through hostile behavior and outbursts. There are also claims from certain fans that he mistreats women, using them and then discarding them. Some Reddit threads delve into detailed stories, including allegations of a particular interest in underage girls. It is crucial to note that these are unverified claims. Regardless, there are well-documented instances that make us shake our heads at his actions. In interviews, Jonah Hill often shows a side that contrasts with his comedic persona. While he is known for his roles in funny films, his reactions during interviews can be quite serious and even standoffish. For instance, during one interview, when the host jokingly called him Seth, Jonah responded with a deadpan remark that set a tense tone. This interaction made it difficult for the interviewer to continue, as Jonah offered very little to work with, creating an awkward atmosphere. It seems that he may not appreciate humor directed at him, which can be surprising given his career in comedy. People who have spent time with Jonah often note that he can be challenging to engage with. In a notable interview with Howard Stern, Jonah made a statement about respecting himself, which highlighted a certain arrogance in their exchange. This moment illustrated how Jonah can turn a simple conversation into a tense situation, making it hard for others to feel comfortable. His tendency to put interviewers in awkward positions suggests that he may struggle with the lighter side of interactions, even as he thrives in comedic roles on screen. William Shatner's Comedy Central roast stands out as a moment where many stars expressed years of frustration towards him. His reputation as a supposed Hollywood grouch stems from his behavior on the set of Star Trek, which led to a significant dislike among his co-stars. This negative sentiment earned him the unflattering nickname Captain Jerk. One of the most notable incidents that contributed to this nickname was his absence at Leonard Nimoy's funeral, which many found disrespectful. His attitude does not improve at fan conventions, where both fans and co-stars have to endure his considerable ego. There was a particular instance where he yelled at Denise Crosby, known for her role as Tasha Yar, whenever she attempted to answer questions from the audience. Observing his treatment of fellow actors makes it difficult to respect him. Furthermore, his bad behavior seems to be driving away the few fans who still support him, suggesting that he may not have to worry about upsetting them for much longer. Contrary to the widely held belief that Sandra Bullock is a sweetheart, her off-camera demeanor doesn't quite match the public image she cultivates when the cameras are rolling. While it is generally acceptable for celebrities to decline autograph requests, it crosses a line when they resort to insulting fans. In a particular incident, a disabled veteran requested Bullock's autograph, only to receive a response that involved her covering her face and verbally abusing him. This incident surely posed quite a challenge for her PR team as they attempted to smooth things over with the public. Adding to the complexity of her public perception, her ex-husband Jesse James claimed in an interview that he cheated on Bullock because he felt inferior due to her allegedly controlling behavior. Acknowledging James's reputation as a known jerk, especially for infidelity, it is important to take his statements with a grain of salt. However, considering the accounts of others that align with his narrative, dismissing his claims outright might be premature. Furthermore, when viewed in the context of other instances of less than ideal behavior attributed to Bullock, his explanation does not seem far-fetched at all. While you might remember him fondly as Austin Powers, it turns out Mike Myers isn't as groovy baby as his iconic character. His controlling behavior and narcissism have tarnished his public image. One notable incident involved him refusing to sign an autograph for a company that produced toys based on his characters. Later, he demanded that their products be rushed to him overnight, but refused to pay for the shipping costs. This kind of behavior has led many in Hollywood to steer clear of casting him. Additionally, Myers is infamous for insisting that the entire Shrek film be redone, because he suddenly decided that the character should have a Scottish accent. While he may have had a point, it seems extreme to jeopardize the whole production with such a major revision. Many who have worked directly with the comedian describe him as insufferable, which has contributed to a growing reputation that makes studios hesitant to work with him. His actions have left a mark on his career, showing that behind the laughter, there can be a darker side to fame. Tobey Maguire might be known for his acting skills, but his behavior off-screen raises eyebrows. There is a story that highlights his questionable treatment of others. One night, while chatting with a cocktail waitress, he decided that she was making too much money. Instead of leaving her a tip, he asked her to bark like a seal who wants a fish for $1,000. When she laughed it off, he insisted that she actually perform the act. This incident paints a picture of the less than humble side of Hollywood. A casting director even labeled Maguire as the worst little monster you could ever meet after hearing this story. This reputation seems to be supported by reports from film sets, where there is an unspoken rule not to make eye contact with him, which is typical diva behavior among some actors. Additionally, he has a peculiar preference for being addressed as Tugboat Maguire or Tugboat Toby. These details are hard to forget, and leave a lasting impression of his character. In 2001, Terrence Howard was involved in a troubling incident where he physically assaulted his first wife, Lori McAmis. This altercation occurred because she spoke to him in a manner he considered too strong. 4 years later, in 2005, he struck his second wife, Michelle Gent, which raised further concerns about his behavior. The situation escalated in 2010 when Gent accused Howard of throwing her across a hotel room and then taking her to the balcony, where he allegedly threatened to toss her over the railing. These incidents paint a picture of a man with serious issues in his personal life. Howard's problematic behavior is not limited to his relationships. It has also affected his professional life. He was reportedly let go from the film Iron Man, with Don Cheadle stepping in to replace him. The reason behind this was Howard's demand for a higher salary, which the studio did not meet. Instead of moving on, he continued to voice his grievances about the situation for years, placing blame on Robert Downey Jr. This was particularly ironic, as Downey Jr. had been an advocate for equal pay for all actors on the set of that Avengers. The narrative surrounding Howard reveals the complexities and challenges faced by a Hollywood superstar, marked by both personal and professional turmoil. Candace Cameron Bure has had quite a wholesome career. Many of us remember her as DJ Tanner on Full House, and she has become a staple in Hallmark rom-coms, arguably more than anyone else in the field, except maybe her former Full House co-star Lori Loughlin, whose reputation has had its ups and downs. Known for her outspoken conservative Christian values, you might expect Candace to be friendly in person. However, that's not exactly the case, at least according to Jojo Siwa. In a recent TikTok that went viral, the YouTuber labeled Candace as the rudest celebrity she'd ever met. Their encounter took place at the Fuller House premiere in 2016, when Jojo was just around 14 years old. According to Jojo, the perceived rudeness stemmed from Candace declining to take a picture with her at the event. Candace insists it wasn't a big deal, and all seems to be well between them now. This incident has sparked discussions about celebrity behavior and the expectations fans have when meeting their idols. The image of Reese Witherspoon as the quintessential American sweetheart is being called into question, revealing a side that may not align with her on-screen persona. Disappointingly, it seems her charming public image might be just that, an image. Allegations of self-entitlement surfaced when she and her husband were pulled over for weaving in and out of traffic lanes. Instead of cooperating, reports suggest she asserted her status by saying to the officer, "Do you know my name? You're about to find out who I am." This incident led to her arrest for disorderly conduct. Sources from Star magazine paint a less than flattering picture of Witherspoon, describing her as anything but sweet. The staff allegedly tiptoed around her to avoid upsetting her, going to great lengths to cater to her demands. It has been reported that she refuses to remove her sunglasses, creating an atmosphere where making eye contact is strictly off limits. The dynamics with her husband, Jim, suggest a power imbalance, with efforts to portray him as having the upper hand. Seeing Reese in this light is disheartening for those who admired her as America's sweetheart. It is disheartening to see Reese in this light, and hopefully, this was just a one-time incident. While many people still hold a fondness for Tom Cruise, there's a growing sentiment in Hollywood that questions his behavior. Cruise became notorious for establishing peculiar rules with Katie Holmes, both during and after their marriage. He reportedly prohibited her from seeing other men immediately after their split, and she was not allowed to travel with her daughter. In a move that many found troubling, she was even forbidden from talking to Cruise's other ex, Nicole Kidman. This behavior raises eyebrows about his maturity and stability as a partner. Cruise's regular outbursts about Scientology only add to the perplexity surrounding him. Many wonder who wants to be subjected to such intense scrutiny, especially when it revolves around a religion that includes beliefs about space aliens. It's not just the Scientology issues that have drawn criticism. There are reports that he instructed Navy sailors not to speak, or even look at him while filming Top Gun 2. This behavior seems to show a lack of respect for the troops, which many find disappointing. The combination of these actions paints a picture of someone who may not be as likable as his on-screen persona suggests. From music to movies and TV, Christina Aguilera has effortlessly navigated through various facets of Hollywood, earning her a dedicated fan base over the decades. Unfortunately, like many in Tinseltown, she appears to have fallen into the trap of exhibiting jerky behavior. This is a disappointing turn, though not entirely unexpected. The intertwining of fame and unpleasant conduct is a common narrative, much as we wish it weren't, and Aguilera is no exception to this trend. In the early 2000s, she raised eyebrows with sometimes blunt remarks about fellow musicians like Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, and Pink. Her less-than-stellar behavior didn't conclude with her pop diva era. Reports suggest she has been aloof and distant, not discriminating between interviewers and fans. On-set rumors surfaced when she announced her departure from The Voice, with allegations that several of her fellow judges couldn't stand working with her. This pattern of behavior has led to a mixed legacy, as her talent continues to shine while her interpersonal relationships seem to